Heavy protest at CBN headquarters over Supreme Court judgment on Naira swap. Wow. I know just a few hours ago, the Supreme Court judge, Justice Okoro, has, ruled that, the February 10 deadline for the use of the old Naira note is overridden, and said it should not stand, that Nigerians should continue to use the old Naira notes alongside the new ones until further notice. Okay, and that judgment has received a lot of backlash. Some Nigerians applauded it, while many Nigerians said no. The intention of these governors is not really to support the masses. They don't have the interest of the masses at heart. What they are fighting for is vote buying, the APC agenda for vote buying. That is what these governors are fighting for. That is governor of Kaduna, governor of Zamfara, and governor of Kogi State. These three governors took CBN and Buhari to Supreme Court seeking that suspension. Okay, and now the Supreme Court has answered their prayers, and now this is, there's confusion across the atmosphere of Nigeria right now. So, following that judgment, there is now heavy protest at CBN headquarters over Supreme Court judgment on Naira swap. Let's see what else is coming with it. The apex organization of all civil society groups in Nigeria, Civil Society Central Coordinating Council, CSCCC, right, on Wednesday, February 8th, stormed the headquarters of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, at Abuja to protest against the ruling of the Supreme Court on the deadline for use of old Naira notes. The national coordinator of CSCCC, Obed Okukwe, while speaking on Wednesday, urged Buhari to issue an executive order maintaining February 10 as the deadline for use of old Naira notes. Okukwe added that the Apex Court order did not restrain the exercise of the constitutional powers of the president. He also called on the Supreme Court not to yield its platform for election riggers to have access to illicit cash to compromise the forthcoming elections. That is true. Recall that the Supreme Court on Wednesday halted the move by the federal government to ban the use of the old Naira note from February 10, 2023. A 7-man panel led by Justice John Okoro stopped the move in a ruling in an ex parte application brought by 3 states, including Kaduna, Kogi, and Zamfara State. The 3 states specifically applied for an order of interim injunction restraining the federal government through the Central Bank of Nigeria or the commercial banks from suspending or determining or ending on February 10, 2023, the time frame with which the older version of the 200 Naira, 500 Naira, and 1,000 Naira may no longer be legal tender pending the hearing and determination of their motion on notice for interlocutory injunction. Counsel to the applicants AI Mustafa San, while moving the application on Wednesday, urged the Apex Court to grant the application in the interest of justice and the well-being of Nigeria. He stated that the policy of the federal government had led to an excruciating situation that is almost leading to anarchy in the land. So Justice Okoro, while delivering ruling on the motion, granted the application after a careful consideration of the motion. Also, he adjourned the case till February 15, 2023 for hearing of the main suit. Can you imagine? So because of this judgment now, Civil Society Central Coordinating team have arranged for protest, and now there's massive protest in front of the CBN building at Abuja, protesting the Supreme Court ruling. And they are urging the president to use his executive powers to give an executive order to overrule the judgment of the Supreme Court. Because actually, what they're saying is that the Supreme Court should not yield its office and its platform for the people who are intending to spend their huge cash to compromise the forthcoming general election, because the essence of this fighting this case is just to have their money to spend for vote buying. Just like they said that they have amassed about 22.5 billion naira in Kano ready for vote buying in the northern region of the country. And this is terribly very, very bad. This is very bad. Okay, so now protests have started. Protests have started, and the protest is still ongoing right now at Abuja in front of the CBN office. This is actually very, very bad. I'm sure why Emefiele is doing what he's doing is basically to stop this vote buying. That is true, because we've seen that the people that are actually crying, these three governors, are not really crying in the interest of Nigerians. They are crying because they want to support the vote buying. That is the truth. The interest of the APC that they are fighting for. Okay? So we really need to be sure that these people have the interest of Nigerians at heart, because the truth is that they don't. They don't have the interest of Nigerians at heart. How? But the truth is, I know that before Nigeria will get better, it might get to a very alarming state. All right? If everybody can pay that sacrifice right now, and just shortly after the election, they can lift the ban and people can bring in their money, that will be fine. But we know that why CBN is fighting to make sure that this is done now is to be able to provide a free and fair condition for election without any form of compromise, without any form of financial inducement on the electorate. Because the truth of the matter is that APC is fighting this case to be able to use the money they have amassed for Tinubu for vote buying during this election. That is the truth. It's quite unfortunate. They have the confidence that they're saying they will win the election, because their confidence is in the money that they have amassed. Their confidence is in the money that they have kept. That is just the problem. But how are we going to continue like this? We can't continue like this. We really can't continue like this, because this Nigeria that they are treating like this is almost like an egg now. It's about to break, and people just have to be very, very careful, especially all these governors that don't have the interest of Nigerians at heart, because the truth is that they don't have the interest of Nigerians at heart. Whatever they're fighting for is their own, especially El-Rufai. Since when has El-Rufai become a saint to fight for Nigerians? Where was he when ASU was on strike? They were negotiating with federal government, and there was no success in all of that negotiation for good 8 months. Where was he? Where were all of these APC governors? Where were they? So it's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. Now we are talking about having a free and fair election. It is obvious that some unscrupulous politicians have amassed huge amount of money to buy votes during this election, and I'm sure CBN and Buhari are trying to do something to prevent that from happening. But unfortunately, some people are still fighting from underground to make sure that doesn't work. But I'm sure CBN governor is himself and Abuja and Buhari will do something about it. They're not going to sleep over it. I know. But before tomorrow, we'll hear something new about this matter. So thank you for listening. There's protest going on at Abuja, protesting against the Supreme Court ruling on the use of old Naira note on that February 10, 2023 deadline.